From Rappel Field here in Easton, Pennsylvania, it's rivalry night as the Leopards of Lafayette College play host to the Mountain Hawks of Lehigh University. This is as good as it gets when it comes to field hockey action, but for the Leopards, they come in with a record of 0-5, still looking for that first win, taking on the Mountain Hawks of Lehigh, who come in with a 1-4 mark. These two teams have been playing since 1972 for Lafayette. They lead the all-time series 38-12-1. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Ventola. Very pleasant good evening to each and every one of you, wherever you may be. And joining me is former Leopards goalkeeper Caitlin Arnold. And Caitlin, for you having been a former player, you know what it takes, especially in this rivalry matchup between Lafayette and Lehigh. It's always a little extra special. And for the Leopards and for the Mountain Hawks, certainly a lot on their minds going into this matchup.
Yep, there's a lot of history in the rivalry between these schools, so it's always exciting when it's your turn to step up and beat Lehigh.
It certainly will be a chance for both teams to step up and try to get a win, trying to get back towards 500 or both of these teams. It's been a rocky beginning, but put the records aside. It's great field hockey action next between Lafayette and Lehigh here on the Lafayette Sports Network. Look at the starters here for Lehigh. You look up top with Leah Mullery, Isabel McHugh, Anna Lehman, and Lauren Dice. And there, of course, in the midfield with Sam Nason, Amanda Boyer, Olivia Perrone, and Maddie Monahan. But Paige Inarella back in goal. She had a decent season a year ago, looking to build upon that. Of course, Mari Ware and Lanky Havis as well. But when you look at featured players for the Mountain Hawks, Leah Mullery is someone to keep an eye on here tonight, Caitlin.
Yeah, she's only a freshman, but she's Lehigh's leading scorer. She had 2 big goals against Ball State. So if she's able to get in there and make some noise for Lehigh and get them on the board, it'll be a tough game for Lafayette. So we'll see what she can do tonight.
And on the other side for the Leopards and for Lafayette, still looking for that first win and taking a look at their starting lineup. So whether it's Liza Welch up top, Molly McAndrew, who's been playing well this season, Kristen Taylor, Grace Angelella, Teresa Delahanty, who's back for the first time this season, coming back from an injury, Grace Angelella, Anna Steps, Rachel Bird, Audrey Sars, Lisa Vandergeest there back in the defense, and Sarah Park taking over your role from which you once were at, Caitlin. But obviously when you look up and down, there are a lot of good players, but you have to take a look at Anna Steps. Anna, she's done pretty well here to begin the season.
Yeah, she controls the center of that field, and she distributes the ball and gets back on defense, so she really controls a lot of the game for the Leopards. And with Teresa back on the field and in the center with her, she should be really dangerous both offensively and defensively, so she could really make a lot of noise tonight.
All right, those are your starters, Lafayette Lehigh, next here on the Lafayette Sports Network. And the national anthem in the books here at Rappel Field as the Leopards and the Mountain Hawks are just moments away from getting underway. And for the Leopards in their home black uniforms, for the Mountain Hawks in their road white uniforms, and for both of these teams looking to try to get into the win column. At least that's for Lafayette, obviously coming in with a 0-5 mark, Lehigh at 1-4. And for the Leopards, Caitlin, coming off that tough 5-1 loss, though you got a chance to watch them when they were here at home against Temple. Played competitive, but lost 3-2, and that's kind of been the story. They've shown some competitive type attributes, but have fallen short. What do you think it's going to take for them to just finally get over the hump, and maybe it comes here against Lehigh?
Yeah, I think it's just finishing on both sides of the field. They got to put the ball in the net, and they got to keep the ball out of the net. That's how you win the game. But in between the 2 goals, they've been playing some really good hockey. They're building the ball well and possessing the ball well. It's really going to come down to who can focus the hardest and finish on offense and keep the ball to the net on defense. Well,
for the Mountain Hawks, with their lone win on the season, a 2-1 win over Ball State on September the 8th. They're coming off a very tough loss at number 22nd ranked Ohio State, losing by a score of 5-0. But for the Leopards here, they will be moving from right to left. For the Mountain Hawks, from left to right. And for you, having been a former goalkeeper, what are you looking on earlier? What are you looking for out of your team early on in the game once your team gets some possession here early on?
It's important to get that first goal. If you give Lehigh a chance here and they score first, it's going to change the entire dynamic. So you don't just want to possess the ball at the beginning of the game, but you want to get that first goal.
And just like that, we are underway here at Rappel Field, and for the Leopards and for the Mountain Hawks, as stated in the open, they first met back in 1972. For the Leopards, looking for their 39th all-time win against the Mountain Hawks. So When you look at this game up and down, though, we've given you our featured players here early on, but freshman Molly McAndrew for Lafayette, she has come in and played very well. So she had a goal against number 22nd William and Mary back on September 2nd. And of course, Sarah Park, who has had the majority of the minutes in the cage. So hoping that for the Leopards, you can see some other players continue to step up. So, but sometimes too early on in a game, Caitlin, both teams still trying to figure one another out. You get some early back and forth, or you get what just happens here, a ball that goes out the opposite side.
Yeah, you know, it's really about getting possession of the ball and kind of building it. So when you see a lot of back and forth and balls going over the end lines, that's really not what either team's trying to look to do. When you see a team build the ball, that's really when they're the most dangerous. So pass the ball, possess the ball, times like this where you can see that they have good possession of it. Those are the times. That's what we want to see from both teams.
You know, it's because, you know, especially in field hockey, goals can happen right away, or we get our first foul here early on, and now Lafayette looking to take advantage. So just about a minute and a half in. And the Mountain Hawks getting some movement up here on the near side, but a long pass, and now we see Lehigh's number 14, Anna Lehman, coming in, and looks like the Mountain Hawks getting some early pressure here against the Leopards.
Yep, so that's an upgraded corner there. So that's a foul outside the circle, but it was coming in from behind, the ref thought, so there he upgraded that right away to a corner.
And corners too, I mean, obviously in this situation for Lafayette, it's not easy to do because for Lehigh here, Maury Ware, who's going to be taking the corner, you don't know who they're going to pass it to, whether it's going to get stopped, set up, or strike right away. So as a goalkeeper, how do you go in? What's your mindset going into a corner like this?
Well, the defense, they do have a set play. They have a plan, and you kind of you take the most dangerous space away from them. You guard the inside of the net. You guard, if you have an idea of where they're going, you try to take that away. But like you can see, they have 2, 4, 6, 8, almost 9 players up there to your 4. You just got to take the most dangerous ones.
Here's a pass, and a pass that did not go in Lehigh's favor, and Lafayette just knocking it out. Nicely done by Anna Steps there.
Yeah, and you know, defensive corners can be really good attacking opportunities. Like I said, they have 9 players up on their offensive end. If you can win the ball defensively and get it up the field, you have an up-number situation big time.
Striking the foot, signals a whistle every time, but with that, Lafayette doing well after a nice job defending the corner.
Good movement from Lafayette.
Some good passing. And sometimes there, too, where things get a little unfortunate. And I'm sure, too, when you're seeing your teammates in front of you, you see like they get a good play, but it's almost like a game of inches sometimes. A pass that goes too far ahead, or a player with so much movement, it gets past them.
Yep, you really got to be on the same page. Otherwise, an attacking opportunity can become a big-time turnover that can be.
But for Lafayette and Lehigh, both teams that have not scored a lot of goals this season. For Lafayette, just averaging a little less than a goal and a half per game. As Lafayette's going to get it right back. As you see, head coach Jennifer Stone, who is in her 6th season. And she's had a lot of success against the Mountain Hawks. Caitlin, you've played for her all 4 years and understands the importance of doing the little things right.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a big stressor for Jennifer, but she's really good at teaching movement. So you'll see Lafayette, when they're playing well, they're moving the ball well, they're getting into open space well. That's something that Jennifer's really good at. So if Lafayette's having a good game, you'll see them moving the ball really well.
Well, for the Mountain Hawks, looking to try to get something going. Kristen Taylor now. Taylor with a nice pass, trying to get it in towards the circle. Liza Welch that had it taken away here for the moment and now cleared out.
That's a good recovery there by Lafayette.
Audrey Sars. Now working the far side of the field, under 30 minutes remaining. Here in the first half, still no score between Lafayette and Lehigh, just getting underway. Now maybe a chance here for the Leopards. Trying to sneak that pass in, but Lehigh's Lenka Havis in on the defense. Nice crowd as well here on this Friday night. With the rain holding off.
We're seeing a lot of back and forth here, so I'll be interested to see which team kind of gets possession first and can create an opportunity. If you see a lot of back and forth, as a goalkeeper, you're getting pretty stressed because you're not, when you turn the ball over, you're not set to play defense. So those are opportunities where you've got to be really careful that you're not giving up goals turning the ball over. And
when you see all that back and forth, like in trying to get something generated on offense, I mean, is it something specific your forwards have to do? Is it just trying to do what they can to just get past the defense that's being portrayed against them?
Well, ideally what you want to be doing is building the ball from the back. So the midfielders should really be setting up those forwards in positions where they can get the ball and they don't have to eliminate a defender, because when you're eliminating a defender, even the best attacker is giving the defender an opportunity to get the ball. So you really want to build the ball so that when you're getting up to the forwards, they're in a good position to do something with it, whether that be pass, go to goal, or shoot the ball. So we want to see good possession out of the backfield from Lafayette going up to the forwards to put them in a position to be successful.
Right now, the Mountain Hawks, they've had the only real clear look via that corner. Otherwise, no other, I mean, not a single shot on goal has been taken just yet. And right now, the Mountain Hawks trying to work on Lafayette's side of the field. Number 19, Isabel McCune, one of the defenders for the Mountain Hawks. And that's one thing, too, you see quite a bit, especially after a whistle, is trying to work it to the other side of the field.
Yep, so when you take a free hit and the defense has time to set up right where you're taking the hit, you want to move the ball to the other side to try to get them moving and open up some channels for you, because when they have the time to set up the defense, it's pretty tough to go straight into it and find open players and open space. So a lot of times people complain about passing the ball backwards and not going forward, but you really got to move the ball to open up the space. Otherwise, you're just hitting into a defense that's already set up for you.
Morristown, New Jersey native Sam DeMaio now in the game here for the Leopards. And she gets beat there by McCune, but there to help her out is one of her teammates, Audrey Sars and Teresa Delahante. But once again, Anna Steps providing strong defense, trying to get in towards the circle, and now the Leopards, a much needed whistle, allowing them to get reset.
You know, when you're playing against Lehigh, no matter what the career series may be, there's always a lot of emotion to the game. So you can see that out there already. Both teams are out, and they're playing fast, and they're playing aggressive. I think that for Lafayette to be successful, they kind of have to get themselves under control the ball. Like I said, there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of turnovers, but that's not when Lafayette plays their best hockey. So there's a lot of emotion out there. I think they're coming out. They really need this win. But I think once they get control of the ball, they'll find more success.
And look at up and down the roster, too. And obviously for the juniors and the seniors, they're pretty used to it. But freshmen coming in, it's all they hear about. Lehigh, Lafayette, Lehigh, Lafayette. So like you said, some of that emotion being played. There's a nice look in front. But a good save there by Anarella. And she just had that one kicked away. Could have been a goal there for the Leopards. But now
it looks like they have a corner here.
And you can see it there as the corner taking place.
The ref was right there, so he saw whatever he saw better than we saw it. I'm not sure what that call was.
Okay, a little too far away, but looks like
we'll take it.
I was about to say for Lafayette, they will take it.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Need a break that goes your way. And the Steps will take the corner. Sends it on in. Good stop. Looking for that shot. Sticks colliding. Lisa Vandergeest was trying to take the shot for the Leopards.
That's a good job by Lisa to get in a defensive position right away and win that ball back. Because like I mentioned, Lehigh had a lot of girls upfield where if they could have gotten that ball up there, it would have been trouble for Lafayette. As a goalie, you're always screaming your head off in those situations. You can see it coming.
I'm sure there's that's a lot of experience being said in that statement.
Oh yeah, and the back defenders there, as the goalie, you're talking to him the whole time.
An off-balance shot, and Lehigh, but it looked like there was a trip from behind that caused the whistle, so the Mountain Hawks getting it back, but Lafayette now after early going for the Mountain Hawks, and now the Leopards starting to show what they're capable of doing.
That's a pretty even match so far. I'd like to see Lafayette control the ball a little better. I think that, like I mentioned, they'll be more successful and they have a little bit more composure on the ball.
Getting pushed from behind is Delahunty. I think that push might have happened after the initial whistle. Some fans wanting a green card, but no green card issued. Some good movement on the far side of the field. Lehigh now trying to do what they can defensively. They've been pressured here quite a bit for head coach Caitlin Dahlmeyer, her team. They'd like to get back to their winning ways here against the Leopards. And the Mountain Hawks back with it here for the brief moment. .22 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in the first half. Still no score.
That's a good ball for Lehigh.
Lindsay Alvarez there for the Mountain Hawks. And once again, Isabel McEwen. Sam Nason with some space. It's a good strong pass underneath the stick of Alvarez, and Alvarez, she could have had a one-on-one look with Park.
Yep, that was a close opportunity there for Lehigh. Those are ones that, as a spectator, you're not always looking at, but I'm sure she's kicking herself for that one there.
McEwen stepping in front of that pass. Delahunty, though, getting it right back. Some good passing.
Here we go.
Costello.
Each held on for it too long there.
It's inside the circle. And Lehigh gets it right back, though, but Molly McAndrew even getting in the mix as well for the Leopards.
Those are those opportunities that we want to see Lafayette capitalize on.
And right now, too, if you're Lehigh, it's been a lot of defense, but right now this defense almost in trouble. McAndrew is trying to make a nice play, and the Mountain Hawks will get it right back, but Molly McAndrew showing a little something.
Yeah, she's stepped up this year for sure. I'm excited to see what she can do.
When these two teams played last season, it was a 1-0 overtime win for the Mountain Hawks.
Good bit of skill there.
Yep. You like, too, how Lafayette moves quick to the ball. Knocked away by Inarella. Almost, too, it seems like as the games go on and with no score, and then I'm sure for early in the first half as a player not looking too much up at the scoreboard, but I'm sure at some point you glance up there, but as the game goes on, whoever scores that first goal, sometimes that 1-0 lead can almost feel like 4-0.
Oh yeah, the longer you go into a 0-0 game, that first goal is more and more important. So we're getting into that period of time where that first goal is really going to be setting a tone for whichever team scores it. Even though it's only 15 minutes into the game, but it'll be huge.
And right now, both teams just, whether it's Dahlmeyer or Stone, trying to rotate players in and out.
Again, we're holding onto the ball a bit too long there for Lafayette.
But say it looked like she just held onto it a little too long as Isabel McCune had gotten her stick in to break up the play.
It's tough there. You want to hold on to it long enough that you engage the defender, but if you hold on to it too long, you give him a chance to get a stick on it. Good pressure there by Molly McAndrew.
I would say Molly showing, so we talked about what she's done here early in the season. And for Sarah now, she's been kept pretty quiet. And that's the thing, too, trying to keep focus as well, too, even if you've not had as much action. But like you said, though, early on, it's a lot of communicating, too, to your defense and everyone in front of you.
So these are the toughest games for a goalie. You hate these games where it's turnover, 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 because like I said, your defense isn't set. And these are the games that when you're in goal, you're way more nervous in a game where it's composed and you can predict what's about to happen. These are games where one turnover decides the game, and you hate to get into those matches, but you have to be ready as a goalkeeper.
Out of bounds. Good strong strike. Right now, some standing around. Costello getting it towards the center of the field. Nice move.
Yeah, good bit of skill there. Oh, nice to give yourself space. That's really good stuff from Kristen.
And Kristen Taylor almost would have been very impressive.
Yes, that would have. She really, I think she had three defenders on her there, but she got herself a shot on goal. That's what you want to see more of.
17:27 to go. And now Sarah will just let that go in. Obviously no goal.
Those are trickier situations than you can think, though. If that ball hits off a post, it's a live ball, and Lehigh has a forward right there. So she's holding her breath there for a bit.
Dribble and taking this right into the corner. And you're almost trying to figure out what was the mindset there. It'll still be for Lehigh. Maddie Levitt from the near side corner. The Mountain Hawks still with it. A couple mistakes here by Lafayette. And you almost wonder, with that ball going into the corner now, opening things up here for Lehigh as, Anna.
Open. Here they go with a quick restart again. It's a good play by Lehigh there.
That shot wide. It's like that shot was taken by Leah Mullery, the freshman from Nanticoke, Pennsylvania.
Good movement by Lehigh in the circle there.
Still going Lehigh's way.
Lafayette has to clean it up defensively. If I'm back there in that cage, they're hearing about it at this point.
And it goes off the side of the cage, and Lafayette gets it right back. I'm sure sometimes over the years that you had a slight case of laryngitis, I'm sure, from time to time.
I'm sure my defenders would tell you that. I think I was perfectly friendly to them.
Right. That's funny.
We still laugh about some situations, but
At the end of the day, as much as it is about competition, like you said, you still gotta have fun with it.
Yeah, after the game.
After the game, yes, after the game.
Maybe after the season.
After the that's
depending
true.
on how bad it was.
That's true.
A moment it was.
That is true. So, well, for the Leopards and the Mountain Hawks, to no surprise, still scoreless. What a diving stop there by McCune.
There. She just shut down an opportunity for Lafayette there. That's really great.
Now
That's what you want to see.
Now there's some good communication there between Taylor and Sars.
Yeah, good awareness from Kristen there. She's a forward, but she interchanged with a back here. That shows you a lot of hustle and awareness of what's going on the field. Here's an opportunity for Lehigh.
Teresa Delahante getting involved. Nice little pass here.
Oh, good hustle here. Wow, that's a good pass by the Lehigh defender there. Would have made me a bit nervous, but she executed that one.
Right. You know, for what we've seen here at Lafayette is they've been knocking on the door, but what's it going to take for them to open it? Just a lucky
it's
break?
that little focus, like I mentioned at the beginning of the game, that they really need to just put the ball in the net. As simple as it sounds, I know it's not that simple, but when I'm standing in the cage, I'm saying just put it in the net. I'm saying that here too.
See, for you, you could say that. If I were to say that, fans watching would question my expertise. For you, you had played it, so
I can see how easy a ball goes past me into the net. So.
Oh no. Nah.
That's always tough, especially in a tight game when you're a goalie back there and you're just all you can really do is give them encouragement, but you're confined to your circle.
Right. So again, you want to go out, you almost like you want to drop the pads and help, but you can't.
I don't think they would want me to drop the pads. I don't have much skill, but if I could, I certainly would be up there with them.
I'm sure that's a frustrating moment too, and you hope that that's not the case later on in the game, but when your head coach calls you over, because they want the extra player, especially if you're down in a game.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, unfortunately, for me, that never turned into a victory for me. So at that point for me, when I was coming out, we were down a goal or two, and it's a bit defeating. You don't really care about yourself coming out of the game, but you know there's a couple minutes left, and you only have a couple minutes, and so a time like that is a stressful time, and you understand why they're doing it, but it stinks that it gets to that point for sure.
So Lisa Vandergeest missing wide with her shot. So officials right now letting play happen. Still scoreless with a little over 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Mike Ventola, Caitlin Arnold with you.
Oh, good ball. There Kristen is again with great awareness.
And that's going to, and Isabel McEwen getting called. And that's going to bring on the corner, having collided.
This is where we really have to see Lafayette start converting these opportunities. The longer you hold on to a game where you're dominating, you're getting opportunities and not getting the goal, the more frustrated they'll get. So we want to see them, we're still early on in the game, we want to see them get one of these and settle down.
So Anna Steps will take the corner. There has still not been an official shot on goal yet. There have been some shots, but not an official shot on goal. Could this be the first one here for either team? Defense is set. Lafayette set. Passing inward. Tries with the low shot. Kicked away by Annarella.
Oh, that's too bad. So for those watching, a little GK information. If that ball that she cleared up in the air was dangerous, so there were players around it, that would have been another corner. But since she cleared it in the air into open space, the call is really dangerous, not a high ball. So she can hit it into the air if it's not dangerous. So she hit it into the air, and the Lafayette player stopped it with her body, so it was coming out. It fell on the Lafayette girl.
So Audrey Sars, who had taken the shot, pass inward.
Ooh.
And Lafayette now really starting to mount the pressure on Lehigh. Quick pass, trying to get through, shot, kicked away by Annarella. Cleared out by Lehigh.
More good skill there from Kristen Taylor. Kristen brings a spark to the forward line that you can really tell when she's out there.
Steps right now as Lafayette will look to come towards the near side of the field.
Some high pressure from Lehigh here. Let's see what they can do with that.
Through the legs.
Oh,
and a quarter.
Again. Kristen Taylor's having a really good game for Lafayette tonight. I'd like to see her put one in the back of the net.
Taylor coming on strong here for Lafayette. And getting a chance to take a look at the replay here, and you see the ball had been cleared out. So now another quarter opportunity here, and so many ways for Anna to go with the ball here.
So Lafayette scouts Lehigh's corner defense, and they try to find weaknesses, so they have a plan going into this game of what they're trying to attack.
And Anna sends it in. Nice plant, stop, shot. Anarella stretches and gets the save. Cleared out by Lehigh's defense, and right now for Paige, Anarella has made some nice saves here in these past couple of sequences.
Yes, she has. She does a good job of commanding her circle. You can see her talking a lot to her defense. She's a big presence back there.
Getting a chance to see it on replay, it was a good, clean shot there. But sometimes, too, after the shot, would someone then have to almost kind of be there for the rebound to knock it in?
So when you see it, it seems way simpler than it is. It seems like the goalie just dives down on the ground. But so anything that hits off the goalie's supposed to stay on the ground, and the defender is supposed to clear it off of her. Because if the goalie were to hop up, the ball would be wide open in front of the net. So the goalie stays down, and the defense clears it off her pads. So as a goalie, you're laying there on the ground screaming, "Get the ball!" Oh.
Looking for a call.
Yeah, sometimes when you ask for it, I think they don't give it to you because you asked for it. But also, you do need to maintain possession of it. So if she commits a foul, but the Lafayette girl loses possession of the ball, it's not a foul. So
I guess that's what sometimes you see one hand will almost go up instead of two.
Yep. Kind of giving a play on.
From an officiating standpoint, that's obviously what they're trying to do, make sure play keeps going. They hate to blow that whistle as much as people hate hearing it.
Yeah, you know, they say a well-reffed game is a game where you don't notice the ref, so.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the refs would agree with that, too. I'm sure they don't want too much attention.
They want to come in incognito and leave incognito. 7.5 minutes to go.
Good movement here by Lafayette. So that's the building you want to see. The forward gets the ball in a position where she can do something with it.
Tried to go with a pass forward. She may have had to look towards the outside,
yeah,
but
her weight was a bit back on that. That's why she topped the ball. So she picked her head up to see where she was going with it, and her weight shifted back. But that's the building we want to see from Lafayette. When they're building the ball and possessing it, they're putting the ball in a better position when it goes up to the forward. So they're not giving it to a forward who's not in a position to do anything with the ball.
Under 7 minutes to go now. Still no score.
Let's see if one of them can get something on the board before halftime. That'll be a big momentum changer.
All right, now, if you're a fan of the Leopards, got to be feeling pretty good. If you're a fan of the Mountain Hawks, got to be happy with Paige Anarella's play because she's made some good stops.
Yeah. As a goalkeeper, this is shaping up to be one of the games that I mentioned before, but Lafayette could dominate this whole game like they are, but if they don't put one on the board, it can just be one turnover. And Lehigh can win the game, and that happens. I think it has to do with the kind of momentum shift that once Lehigh gets the ball after playing so much defense, they're so ready and they have such energy going forward, and Lafayette's not set up defensively because I haven't played defense for however long, but as a goalkeeper, you're preparing yourself for that.
There's a shot just wide. Lafayette almost getting one on. And there was Molly McAndrew, the freshman, just missing to the left.
There's some high pressure from Lafayette now. You can really hear Paige Anareella setting up her defense here.
That one knocked out of bounds. Lafayette will still have it. Tried to sneak that pass through. Now Lehigh. That pass deflecting and right towards it. A nice play there for Lehigh. Sarah Park is out, and she guides this one out of bounds. Nicely done by Sarah Park. Her defense was beat, and the goalkeeper making a goal-saving type play.
Yeah, that's a good decision there from Sarah. You want to pull yourself out of the net, because if you stay back in the net and that defender beats that forward beats your defender, you're just kind of a sitting duck, and there's a lot of goal to cover. So it's good she's out there putting some pressure on the attacker.
There's Lauren Dice and Anna Lehman in on the previous play.
There we go. That's good movement from Lafayette. And good skill by Liza Welch there.
As Liza Welch was trying to get around the defense, but couldn't get to it.
Got to back up and give the attacker 5 yards on that. .4:03 to go. So those opportunities like the one Lehigh just had, those are the ones where no matter how much you're dominating the game, if you give up a goal in a situation like that, you're down 1-0. Doesn't matter who has the ball longer.
Nicely done here by Welch. And the Mountahawks been trying to play stern defense this entire first half. Lafayette, though, they've been finding little crevices but have not yet fully broken through.
There's Kristen Taylor again, putting good pressure on the defender.
The Mountahawks taking their time. And a mishap there. Olivia Perrone had it for the moment. A long
That's good
pass.
effort over there by Carolyn.
It was a nice stretch there, but
Yeah,
obviously it's
good
something you don't want to
effort,
see all the time.
Yeah, I think that pass was a little off.
Our first green card.
Yep, so that is for touching the ball after the call. So when he blows the whistle, you're not supposed to touch the ball because you could hit the ball away, so the other team can't play right away. Since it is a live game and the other team can take the ball right away, if you touch it, you could be, messing with them, not letting them take the hit. So
For
good
Laura,
he's getting that under control.
for Laura Dice, that's her first. She gets the green card. That's her second green card of the season.
So here Lafayette is trying to open up some space and find holes in the Lehigh defense by moving the ball.
Good strong pass, but nobody there.
Hoping to get a deflection on that, just trying to make some noise in the circle.
Delahunty was there. This one getting by Sawyers. Steps. Trying to receive the pass up midfield, but it goes past her and trickles out of bounds.
That's a good recovery there by Rachel Byrne. Getting control under the situation, moving the ball up the field.
So a minute and a half to go. Leopards now trying to pick it up. Good movement out in front. Inarella
great
was
save.
there again.
That is really good timing from her. If she gives her another second to square up to the goal, she has a much better opportunity. But right there on the back of her, that's a really good move by the goalie. Really, really well prepared.
Nice pass. A 2-on-1 shot. Goal! Lafayette, they strike first with 56.6 seconds to go here in the first half.
That's just what Lafayette needed. That is a great goal, backhand goal there. I think that was actually.
So Grace Angelella being a
she's actually a midfielder, but she has herself up there in the mix. That's a good piece of skill, shooting that from her backhand.
And it was Angelella. So Angelella with the goal.
And she's only a sophomore, so that's good news for Lafayette. I think that she will be scoring more goals in the future. Hopefully again tonight.
That's her second goal of the season. So for Grace Angelella, a big goal, now 1-0.
That's exactly what Lafayette needed. I expect to see them come out in the second half with a lot more composure, keeping better possession, having fewer turnovers. I think they needed that to kind of settle themselves. It's unfortunate it took 34 and a half minutes, but I think that's exactly what they needed, and they need to take this as an opportunity to get composure and play their game a bit more.
For Lehigh, obviously their defense had been playing most of the first half. I'm sure for head coach Caitlin Dahlmeyer and her staff, how can they get their offense going in the second half? So with 7 seconds and counting here, Lehigh just trying to move it up here quickly, but that is going to take us to the end of the first half as Lafayette leads Lehigh by a score of 1-0. Grace Angelella with the goal. We'll step aside, come back for halftime. Halftime coming to an end here at Rappold Field as Lafayette right now currently leading Lehigh 1-0, but taking a look at Lafayette volleyball right now as they are taking on Delaware State, and currently right now in the first set, Delaware State leading Lafayette by a score of 22-20. So for the Leopards trying to get a win on the court, so inside the Kirby Sports Center. So once again, Lafayette trailing Del State now 23-20. So hopefully some volleyball action could pick up there for the Leopards. But if they knew what was happening here at Rappold Field, that would certainly motivate them, with the Leopards leading Lehigh by a score of 1-0. So once again, Mike Ventola with you, Caitlin Arnold sitting to my right, and Caitlin, obviously, with Lafayette, feeling good, leading 1-0. Lehigh, though, a goal, they're right back in it. And if you are Caitlin Dahlmeyer for the Mountain Hawks, the head coach, what are you telling your Mountain Hawks?
You definitely want to see them be a little bit more proactive and less reactive to what Lafayette's doing. So they want to get a little bit more possession of the ball and be able to create something. They're playing a lot of defense. So they want to get a hold of the ball and create something on their own. And I think that we saw in the beginning of the game that they can do that, so Lafayette really needs to be ready for that. I think they're going to come out after halftime. I'm sure she really set them up with a plan here, so I think that Lafayette's going to see a little bit of a different Lehigh now. And
if you're Coach Stone, obviously feeling pretty good with your team leading 1-0, though, even when you're leading, is there always something being said on what you can improve upon even despite having a lead?
Oh, definitely. They're talking about those opportunities that they had up there. They're talking about the turnovers. I'm sure that was a big part of halftime, and they're going into this second half like it's 0-0.
So with that, we are underway here for second half action. So it's alumni weekend here at Lafayette, but for here tonight, though, as we have dubbed it rivalry night here at Lafayette and Lehigh, always brings out the fans. It's been a nice fan contingent here at Rappold Field. So, and actually, as you are viewing, the fans, of course, sitting on the side where you're following the cameras as they panorama the field here at Rappold Field. So, but with all that being said, Lehigh now will be moving from right to left, Lafayette from left to right. Remember this turf actually getting put in not that long ago, and you played on this turf. Seems like it's one of the better playing surfaces here in the Patriot League.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty new. I think it came in my sophomore year, so I don't want to say how long ago that was at this point. But it's not very old. But yeah, it's good stuff. We definitely like playing on that. Sometimes you want turf not to be a factor in a game, and it's definitely not at Rappold Field.
So early on here, as we saw early on in the first half, a lot of passing, a lot of moving around. Both teams trying to get set here, and no sooner do I say that, Lehigh, it's an early takeaway. Mari Ware moving up the far sideline, and in as Anna steps there on the defense.
So Lehigh is going to want to try to convert off of these turnovers. That Lafayette's giving them chances by turning the ball over, and I'm sure at halftime there's a lot of conversation about possessing the ball after they win it off a turnover and creating an attacking opportunity. So that's what they'll be looking to do in the second half here.
So just 2 minutes in. Good strong strike, and now in a foot race.
Oh, that's good speed there by Grace.
But say she was moving pretty quickly there, but that ball going out of bounds, and sure for Grace, obviously feeling good after that goal score. She would love to add more to her total.
She had some good energy out of the half.
A takeaway by the Mount Hawks.
You want to see them win that ball and move the ball with possession there. So win the ball, move it out of that space. So as soon as you win the ball, move it somewhere else where Lafayette isn't. So that's what you want to see either team do there when they win the ball off a turnover. That's good pass.
Now the Leopards applying pressure once again. Here's a shot, just wide right.
And she had the window open there. When you're Lehigh there, you really want to close down space there. So when she is getting into the circle where she's able to shoot, that she doesn't have a chance to look her head up, look up with her head and see the goal. So you want to put pressure on her so she has to put her head down.
Look at the center of the field now.
There's the distribution I was talking about in the pregame that Anna Sept can do. She sees the field, gets the ball, and puts the ball into open space.
In front, just wide right.
Molly McAndrew not looking like a freshman out there.
No. I was going to say, trying to make her name, and has been playing very well. Had some opportunities in the first half, and trying to create those opportunities to something gold for her team.
So looking to move Lehigh's defense here. Finding Anna Sept's open.
It almost seems like to me, Caitlin, that from the midfield and even up top, seems like Lafayette's just a step ahead of Lehigh.
Yeah, they seem to have a bit more control of the game. Lehigh still looks a little bit reactive, responding to what Lafayette's trying to do. They want to change the momentum by interrupting Lafayette, winning a ball off a turnover, and possessing the ball.
And the Mount Hawks just desperately trying to get something going offensively. And it's almost just like that, a little pass like that that was intended for Maury Ware. And it's taken away. Good pass out front. Just missing to the right as Lafayette almost mere inches away from getting goal number 2.
Over on the bench, they're saying, get on your face, get on the turf. Lay out for that one. I can't see from the depth perception. She would have had it, but neither can they on the bench.
Better for the team, though.
It's exciting.
Sure, get some nasty turf bird, I'm sure of it.
I can say that. I was covered in pads when I had to go down on the turf, so I'm back in the goal saying, dive!
Trying to stay with it. Sneaking through, Inarella out front. And it draws the corner.
That's Grace again. She's changed this game for Lafayette. If you're Jennifer on the sideline there, you're seeing that, and you're happy you have her for a couple more years. That's an impact player for sure. A program impact player.
So will be Anna Steps will not be taking the corner. And instead will be looking to receive it.
This could be a different play for Lafayette.
And a corner sent in. Planted. Stopped.
Ooh.
On the shot attempt. Trickling away.
Not a good trap there. That's not what Lafayette was planning. But good to keep possession up here.
But Lehigh still on defense. That pass.
Sometimes those broken corners can be the most dangerous because the defense has a plan. They come out to do the plan, and when the other team turns the ball over, you kind of scatter, so it's much more disorganized. So those can be big opportunities for the offense.
And another corner. So the Leopards now have 9 corners here tonight.
They're definitely looking to convert on a lot more of these this season.
For the Leopards coming into tonight, they've had their difficulties on the corners. Let's see if it'll be a different setup. That shot stopped again by Itarella. It'll go for the Mountain Hawks after the corner failing.
Lehigh's going to get some momentum with those big stops. It doesn't always have to be doing something offensively that gets some momentum, but a goalie stepping up, a defense stepping up, they can build off that kind of energy. I'm really impressed with Molly McAndrew out there. She really knows what she's doing before she gets the ball. She has an idea of where the space is. That's really good to see out of a freshman.
Cherry Hill, New Jersey native, went to Paul Six High School. Molly, a freshman. And that's one thing, too, in the midst of trying to win, compete for Patriot League title. But obviously, as a program, you also want to see, well, which of these younger underclassmen are going to step up and be contributors in that pursuit of a Patriot League title.
Yeah, this is really good experience for them.
Number 4, the Leopards, still looking for their first win here on the season. And they are a little over 26 minutes away from that happening, but a 1-0 lead in field hockey isn't a sure thing as that one goes out of bounds. The Mount Hawks, after tonight, they will go up to Connecticut to take on Fairfield before on Saturday they will play at home against Bucknell University. So then they have to head on the road for 3 more games after that. So for, the Mountain Hawks having to play a lot of road games. Never easy.
Yeah, that's always tough, especially at this point in the semester. You're starting to move into exam period. It's usually about halfway through the semester, or around now for sure. So that's tough.
I keep forgetting that college officially starts like in August.
Yeah.
So it's hard to believe that we are in the middle of September.
And these games on nights are tough too, especially for Patriot League teams, because some of these girls may have been in class until 4 o'clock, and it's much different than waking up on a Sunday or a Saturday and getting ready for a game, and that's really your only focus. So these are tough.
As you know, having been a former D1 athlete, not only is it a full-time job playing field hockey, it's a full-time job being a student as well.
Yep, that's for sure.
Well, the Mountain Hawks finally getting deep in towards Lafayette's side of the field here for Mari Ware. Pass out in front, drawing the corner. So for the Mountain Hawks, they are going to get their first quarter here of the second half. And Mari Ware, the freshman out of Hayes, Virginia.
Yeah, that's good. You want to see them getting the ball in the circle and making out. If you don't have a shot, get a corner. You want to get something out of it.
Keep an eye on Olivia Perrone, Isabel McEwen. But it will be Ware who will take the corner here for the Mountain Hawks. Waiting for the Lafayette defense to get set. And that they are. Sending it in. Stopped. Pass to the right. Shot. Deflected. And the corner once again.
I thought that was the ref's foot.
I was about to say. Call the foul on himself.
Yeah.
So another chance, courtesy of the official.
I think there was a foul before that.
There was, yeah, there was. This one did pass to the left, a shot deflected high, it's in!
Yep.
And this game is tied. And for the Mountain Hawks, they tie this game with 23:06 to go.
So that was deflected off a Lafayette stick.
Leica Havis with the goal. That's going to be her second goal of the season. That's why that first half goal was important for the Leopards.
Yes, it was. I think now Lafayette's arguing that there should have been, I'm guessing they're arguing there should have been a foul before. It looked pretty clear like it was off a Lafayette stick. She also didn't hit the ball, so it could have gone in the net. If you see the attacker take a backswing, it has to hit the black on the board, but she didn't take a backswing there. So even if it wasn't off a Lafayette stick, that's a good goal.
So a brand new ball game tied up at 1.
Momentum Lehigh now. Lafayette needs to really stay strong on the defense here, get the momentum back.
And for Park, that is the 17th goal she's allowed all season. She comes in tonight with a 4.57 goals against average, a 61 save percentage. So she's had 25 saves on the year coming into tonight.
They've had some tough opponents. That can be tough as a goalie. You know, when you're playing these really big schools, they're good teams and they're going to score, and so it can be tough to kind of keep your footing when you're playing really, really good teams.
Pass inside.
It's good possession from Lehigh there. Win the ball back, keep possession. Don't give it right back to them.
That one going against Caroline Turnbull.
Good pressure here.
Delahunty now. Looking towards the far side of the field, but
not on the same page there.
So Audrey Sowers was a little too far back.
Looking pretty evenly matched here in the second half.
So now, too, if you're Lafayette and you're thinking, all right, we got the goal before the end of the half, feeling good. It took a deflection, and that's something that you and I talked about, that for Lehigh almost kind of would have to go that way, being they haven't generated much offensively. So if you're Lafayette, how do you get back to where you were at the end of the first half when you got that goal?
Yeah, it's definitely tough when you're out there. There's a lot of it comes down to your energy, and you're frustrated here. You just gave up a goal you shouldn't have given up. But you know, as a spectator, it's easy for us to say it's fine. You've dominated the game, but they've got to believe that on the field as well.
A little over 20 minutes to go, tied up at 1 here. Lafayette Lehigh. And despite both teams under 500, though, have played, as Caitlin said, as even as you could have expected. For Lafayette here at home, certainly want to protect their home turf. That's in. Shot and goal, as Lehigh has taken a 2-1 lead.
That is really nice from the Lehigh forward there. She was ready for that ball, and nobody else at Lafayette was. So that was huge for her. So the ball came in from outside the circle. So the initial ball, even if it went into the cage, wouldn't be a goal. But that forward up there for Lehigh got a touch on it, so that's a goal. And that's tough if you're Lafayette, but she was ready. Lafayette defense was not.
Anna Lehman with the goal. Olivia Perrone was in on the assist. So just like that, the Mountain Hawks have now taken a 2-1 lead.
So now, unfortunately, it comes down to a lot of just momentum. Lafayette has to try to get it back, and that was a good opportunity to do it.
I was about to say, almost had it deflected right in.
That was a great save by the Lehigh goalie as well. Those are the kind of things that can change the game. A goalie save like that, because that could have put Lafayette right back on the board and even it up, but that's a huge save for Lehigh.
Here's Delahunty. Trying to get a shot, was deflected. It brings the quarter.
A good response by Lafayette here.
Maddie Monahan was in on the defense as Delahunty tried to get the shot off, so Monahan being called, and that's what draws the foul. Let me say something to you I asked you in the first half. Obviously, still 19-plus minutes, still plenty of time, but at what point do you start looking at that clock and thinking, all right, maybe now we got to pick it up here a little bit?
I think right away, and you saw them respond to that goal. The longer you wait, the less time you have to do it. So this is a great response when you're talking about mental toughness from a team and how you respond to errors. This is great to see from Lafayette. Right away, they're responding. They're not letting any time tick off the clock. Let's see them get on the board and make something out of it.
Teresa Delahunty sends it in. It stopped. Shot. Goal!
Go!
This one's tied.
I wish they were this good at listening to me when I was out there.
And the Leopards tie it up.
That's exactly what they needed to do there. So that's great to see from Lafayette. That's a lot of mental toughness. Your team just went down in your first league game. You haven't had to win. It's easy to get down on yourself and say, oh, here we go again, but we didn't see that.
And Lisa Vandergeest with the goal for the Leopards. Nicely done by Vandergeest, her second goal of the season. So, and you asked for a quick response, Leopards fans, and you got it.
Yeah. That is good to see. Now let's see who gets momentum next. Will Lehigh respond? Will Lafayette step up because they responded? That's what it's coming down to, I think, tonight, is who can take hold of the momentum and keep it. And
it's a great point, too, because you almost wonder now Lehigh's going to avoid feeling deflated, especially after coming from behind. They led 2-1, and then Lafayette just took it right out of them.
Yep, they say that the most important time in the game is the 5 minutes after a goal. So let's see what happens here. It was for Lafayette, so let's see what Lehigh can do.
So under 18 minutes to go, tied up at 2 between Lafayette and Lehigh. And for some who may surmise saying a next goal may win, but not what we've seen the past few minutes. And that's going to draw the corner on the far side of the field.
Yep, so there was a collision, but the call was before that. So you can't intentionally play the ball over the end line if you're the defender. Kind of like a get out of jail free card. Let me just put this out of bounds there. So that's a corner because she played it intentionally, it looked like, at least over the end line.
Sam Nason called on the foul for the Mountain Hawks.
That's tough because a lot of times it's not intentional. It just looks it.
Right,
Bad
yes.
touch, and it's like, oh, it looks like you're playing over the end line. But it does look it, so I'm sure Lafayette would have been screaming if they didn't get that call.
And you almost wonder, too, especially now, Delahunty taking the corner. The switch between her and Steps. Teresa sends it in. Stopped again. Nice step to the left.
Great
Shot bouncing. Stopped. A one-on-one. Lafayette trying to sneak it through. And Arella kicks it out, but the corner will take place once again.
It can be tough to play clean D in there when it's so tight. You're just trying to keep the ball out of the net. Takes some good skill to get it out of there without creating a foul or giving up an open net.
And now we'll see Anna Steps. She will take the corner here, switching it up.
Yeah, switching it up again. That's interesting. Now you see Teresa back on the 25 here. I wonder if she'll be involved at all.
Good pass. Pass again. Trying to go with the shot, deflected, and it's going to be off the left leg. And another quarter.
This is tough for the defense. When the flyer in the goal for Lehigh, she's run out to the top of the circle now. What is this, her third or fourth time? She's getting tired. The defense mentally is getting fatigued. These are high pressure situations, so it's a good opportunity for Lafayette.
Lafayette thinking third time is a charm here in this sequence. Sends it in, looking for a shot. Stays with it, and Arella stretches out, deflected. Going with a high shot, and it's too high.
I think that was the side of the net, because it's coming, maybe not. I think it was the side. It's hard to tell from here.
From our angle, a little difficult, but if anything, like you said, it was still a little too high anyway. And I think you were right, hit the side.
The side?
Yeah, hit the side.
Either way, coming out for Lehigh. They got a break there. Sometimes that's all you need when it's 3 or 4 corners deep. You just want to get the ball back.
Bit of a tough play there for Mason and Sam DeMaio locking up. And it looks like a timeout has been taken. Timeout taken by the Mountain Hawks. 14:38 to go in the second half. Tied up at 2. We'll step aside here on the Lafayette Sports Network. Panning in on the Lafayette bench right now for head coach Jennifer Stone. Getting a chance to talk with her team after Caitlin Dahlmeyer of Lehigh calling the timeout. So Lehigh calling the timeout, but giving a chance for Coach Stone to talk with her team. Tied up at 2. Caitlin, what do you think they're talking about?
So Lafayette's definitely talking about converting on these opportunities. They just had 4 or 5 corners there. You want to put one of those in the back of the net. You only get so many of them in a game. If you're Lehigh right now, you're being reminded that it's a tie game. It doesn't feel like it because you've stood in your goal for 4 or 5 defensive corners, but it's a tie game. It could go either way. So both teams here looking to convert something.
Well, these final 14:38 should be exciting. Paige Adarella and for Sarah Park both have done a nice job in goal, even despite both goalies giving up 2 goals. But hey, in this type of game, never know what could happen. So before Lafayette, they've had some good pressure on this Lehigh defense, but this Lehigh defense has had some nice moments. And now we'll see if the Mountain Hawks can generate something.
Good high pressure here from Lehigh.
Coming on in was Leah Mullery. We have not talked about her as much as we did in the Open. She's been very quiet tonight, the leading goal scorer. Credit to Lafayette keying in on her.
Yeah, I would keep an eye on her. In a game like this, she has done it in the past. She can score goals.
And an off-balance pass there. Not much for Lafayette there, but
playing it into some dangerous space, but they didn't have anyone in there. So
fans getting restless here.
Tight game. It's a rivalry game. I'm sure they're feeling it out on the field too. But they do need to the fans can get excited, but especially if you're Lafayette and the way that they play the game, they want to keep composure. There are some teams that really can build off of that and kind of use the excitement. But Lafayette, like I mentioned, is good when they're composed and they're moving the ball and possessing the ball. Getting a little bit too excited, I think, will result in more turnovers.
Lehigh. Nice.
Oh,
Boyer. And it taken away. Nice job by Lafayette. Steps. Tried to get in towards the circle. Nice takeaway.
Molly McAndrew again.
Her and Steps right now working well with one another. And what a big strike. But there were the Mountain Hawks defense. For Molly McAndrew at the end of the night. Even though you will probably not see her name much in the stat line, but I'm sure for head coach Jennifer Stone and her assistants, if Lafayette wins, if game balls are awarded, she could get one.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely, you don't look past the next game, but they're definitely looking to get her as involved as possible in their game plan. Wow. Great piece of skill there.
Had the right idea. That pass was taken away. A little over 12 minutes to go. That pass getting by, and now stuck in a quarter is Boyer. This
Good
one
still there.
Stayed in. Little bit of a spin to the ball, and now it'll go for Lehigh. Eleven and a half minutes remain, tied up at 2.
So if you're Lehigh, you're just looking for a chance here. Looking for a turnover, looking for anything you can convert off of. You may be playing a lot of defense, but in a game like this, you only need one chance here, like I mentioned earlier. maybe you need three
Right.
goals. But in a half like this, they could play defense the whole half and get one chance and put the nail in the coffin.
Finding some space. Working the
Good.
center of the field. Steps now. Passing it in. Off Venturella and out of bounds.
There's Molly McAndrew again in there and ready and making an opportunity. It's tough to get the ball in that position and get a shot on the net. Your back is to the goal and you still have to get something off. So it's good to see from her.
Right back for the Mountain Hawks after that one sailed away. A foot race up the far side. Where?
Good hustle.
Where has it? Pass. Take it away and
Look to move the ball and possess it here.
say Lafayette say not so fast. We are under 10 minutes here in regulation.
Yep, you don't want to look too far ahead to overtime, but as a goalie, you're kind of just thinking, let's play some really good defense.
Almost forgot about it. Up the near sideline, through the legs
Good teamwork here.
of Nason.
And good back pressure there from Kristen Taylor to keep pressure on the ball after she loses it. And here again with Caroline.
Nason's been kept busy.
Oh,
Thought that might have struck the foot of Laban, but they're saying steps. And a timeout.
oh, a card.
Or
it
they're
looks
saying a
like.
green card. And a step's going to be charged with a green card.
Lehigh wants to look to make the most out of this opportunity here. They're a number up here.
4 steps. That's her 3rd green card of the season.
Wow, so if you're Lafayette here, you're pulling a forward back into, I think Anna was in the midfield, so you're pulling a forward back into your midfield. That kind of takes away some of your offensive power. You're really looking to ride this 2 minutes out here and play some solid defense. But if you have an offensive opportunity, you're not going to shy away, but maybe they do here.
And now the ball's just been trying to find a home. It's been going back and forth here between both teams. Where? And takes it right out of bounds. Sometimes I guess there's nothing you could do with it.
Yeah, it looks like she must have played that off the defender there, so good to keep possession of it.
Passes it. Getting by Park. Still in, but wide left.
That's a
And
big
Park
opportunity there for
recovered.
Lehigh, yeah. Whew. Looks like Rachel Bird had some strong defense there in front of an open net.
And you mentioned
They
about
can
Bird,
thank
and,
her later.
and you mentioned about Bird, Caitlin, and she
Yep,
was
that
definitely in on it.
could have saved the game here for them.
That's
All
the
right,
thing.
possess here.
And that's the thing as well, too. I mean, you got to make it, especially being a goalkeeper, you got to make the decision. Am I going for it? Am I staying back? Or
Yeah, you spend hours and hours and hours practicing that in practice so that when you have if you have an opportunity in a game, you don't have to think about it. So there are certain cues you look for off the attacker. You wait for them to get to a certain point, and lots of goals are scored because you made the wrong decision. But if you have a defender step up there like Rachel Bird did, you get lucky.
some good moves offensively here by the Leopards. But
Yeah,
now
and you know, they've been doing that all season. It's really been about getting the conversion, getting the goal.
DeMaio. Kristen Taylor up top.
Some high pressure here from Lafayette. Oh, they're back at full, so Anna Sept is back on the field. You wouldn't expect to see high pressure if a team was down a player, but she's back, so they're able to put high pressure on Lehigh again.
So Lehigh not getting a chance to convert, but With 6:20 to go. Trying to save it before it goes out, and it's right back here for the Mountain Hawks.
And no surprise, it looks like they're trying to get Molly McAndrew back in the game over there.
Next goal, you would think, could be the game-deciding one.
Got to stop the ball.
Passing in towards the circle. Nice defense.
Yep. Possess here. Possess. Don't give the ball back. Good.
Right idea, but a little too much in that pass. And now the Mountain Hawks.
Keep her down here.
Staying with it in the corner was Leah Mullery. And it'll still be for Mullery and the Mountain Hawks here with 5:25 to go. Now Sam Nason gets it started. Olivia Perrone had it taken away. Delahunty.
Good hustle.
And it was touched last by Lehigh.
So still 5 minutes here. We don't need to jam it down the field. We want to possess the ball and find a good opportunity, because if you turn the ball over here, it could cost you the game. So still not in that stage where you just want to go, go, go. So it's dangerous here when a player in the middle of the field can pick their head up, because they have lots of options.
Lehman passing it towards the far side.
Close down space here. Good touch.
Lehman.
Good touch again. Good job there by Audrey Sowers.
Nice job defensively here by the Leopards. And now interesting call. Shot. Deflected. And now a corner.
Now if you're a goalie here, if you're Sarah Park here, you know your defense is nervous. You know they're frustrated. They think that they should have stopped the ball up here for them. So you just want to be positive. You want to say, we got this. You radiate the kind of good energy. They're frustrated. They're nervous. So you want to stay positive here and just kind of get them ready for the corner.
Keep an eye on Amanda Boyer along with Olivia Perrone. And it will be Maury Ware taking the corner here for the Mountain Hawks. 3:40. Under 3 minutes and 40 seconds now, tied up at 2. Ware sends it in. Stopped. Shot. Nice job there defensively by Lafayette. Ball still loose. And it's going to go Lafayette's way.
Great job there. I think that was Kristen Taylor out there pressuring the ball. It's tough to get out there with the mask on, sprint out there and see the ball. Here's an offensive opportunity for Lafayette.
Here's a chance for the Leopards now.
Get something, get something. There you go. So great job there by Lafayette. Win the ball off of a defensive penalty corner. You have a numbers up situation going forward. Get the ball up, make something happen. Let's see what they can do here.
So getting it.
Really good responses by Lafayette to, situations that could have gone badly. She gets the ball right away. We play it forward and have an opportunity offensively.
Back on that there, Lisa Vandergeest was huge on that after Maddie Levitt failed to get the shot off. Anna Steps will send this one in for the Leopards. 2:30 to go. She'll send it in. Stopped. Shot. Deflected.
Yeah, there again. Good flyer.
Steps looking for help. Bounces it around.
Oh, yeah. Off a Lafayette body there. So a big stop by Lehigh in response.
Paige Anarella. As we approach the 2-minute warning here.
Yep, so now if I'm in the cage, I'm just saying, all right, let's play some good defense. We got this going into overtime. Let's not do anything too dangerous. I know the coach, Jennifer's probably not saying the same. She wants to win it here, but defensively you want to stay really strong and really tight.
1:42. And you think for both teams they wouldn't have too many possessions left.
All right, let's pressure the ball.
Strong look.
And get behind the ball.
Right at midfield. Lehman will not take it. Instead it'll be Perrone.
Yeah, you want to get numbers ahead up there, so have someone run forward and then someone else take the ball.
Nice look up the far sideline. Lafayette has some space, sending it deep in. Needing help.
Molly McAndrew again.
Going backward towards Welch. And out of bounds here. Under a minute to go now. Can Lafayette or Lehigh?
Good move there. Come on, Kristen.
The whistle goes Lafayette's way. Taylor with it up in front. It's rolling and
wow.
just left of the cage.
Oh, that's tough. Great awareness there by Kristen Taylor to get the ball into the open player in front of the net. Good for Molly McAndrew to get it on net. We want to see that finish a bit more cleanly, of course, into the back of the net. Tough ball to receive, though, for sure. Here we go.
Here's a one-on-one. Going for the shot. It's deflected by Adarella. Kicked away.
Finish.
Right towards the Leopard. Shot is deflected.
Great defense here by Lehigh.
7 seconds. Hits the foot of a Leopard. And we are going to head to overtime here at Rappold Field as Lehigh at Lafayette tied up at 2. And for the Leopards and the Mountain Hawks, going to be heading to overtime. And we'll come back for some overtime action here at Rappold Field. See the 6 up against the 6th, and of course you include the goalkeepers, 7 versus 7 here. So obviously then you key in on if you get some one-on-one matchups, who could win on those one-on-one matchups. So we'll see which of these 6 best can best the other 6 best.
You're putting your best 6 players out here, at least for the beginning. There's a lot of running, so once they start subbing, you'll see some changing in the lineup. But right now you got your best 6 players out there.
So some movement here. McAndrew working from the left side. Under 10 minutes to go. McAndrew pass out in front. Instead, it's a goal. Shot, goal, just like that. And this is over as Lafayette wins by a score of 3-2. And for the freshman, Molly McAndrew, she gets the job done as the Leopards defeat the Mountain Hawks.
Yep, there's a great piece of skill there. Bring it down to the baseline. That's a tough goal to put in there. I'm not surprised to see it from her tonight. A great game out of her. I'm happy to see her get on the scoreboard with a game-winning goal. So I wonder if she had somewhere to be after the game.
That may have been the case. So for Molly McAndrew, gets her 2nd goal of the season tonight. Overtime win for Lafayette as they defeat Lehigh by a score of 3-2. Continue to enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in to Patriot League Field Hockey action.